People I admire. Cassandra.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, if I had to choose someone that I admire to talk about, it would really be difficult, and it was for me to think about. But I did come up with the first person that came to mind, and that would be my mom. A lot of people would probably have a lot more information that they would share related to just how close they were and different things to that respective. However, for myself, my relationship with my mom was not as what you would normally expect it to be. My mom was not a touchy-feely person, so, and I don't think that I am as a result. But when I had to think about the person I admire, I really had to take a look at why I admired her. She raised both my sister and myself as a single parent. My parents got a divorce when I was about 5 years old. She did everything that she could to make sure that we had everything that we needed. And we weren't rich by any means. We had the basics. We had the food, we had shelter, and we might get little treats once in a while, but outside of that, we knew not to look for large things to appear because that just wasn't going to happen in our family. My mom would have to catch the bus to Brookfield, and that would be 2 hours each way just to get to work, and then come home and try to do what she could to take care of us. So we were very lucky that we had other members of the family, like my grandmother and my aunts, that were able to pitch in. When we were a little bit older, my mom's job transferred her to Chicago, and she had to catch the bus to downtown and then take the train to Chicago every day. So by the time that she'd get home, she literally didn't have any energy to spend any time with us. So you can just imagine how 2 teenage children might feel about that. But now that I'm older and I'm looking at all the things that she did just to make sure that we survived, I have a different perspective on things. She missed out on a lot as far as the things that happened with us while we were growing up, but I never for 1 minute doubted her love for us. As a result of everything that my mom did for us, my sister and I developed a strong focus. We developed a strong work ethic, and we were motivated to just make sure that we got things done. And at this day and age, you can't beat that. My mom was my first mentor, and I don't think that that would ever change for any reason. I've been thinking a lot about her, and I really wish that I had had the opportunity to tell her this beforehand. I can only hope that she knew. Unfortunately, that chance will never come back. I've had other individuals that I've admired during my lifetime as well. In my previous job, I believe in a prior speech, I mentioned that there was a team lead that I admired because of her ability to help to mentor me by asking me questions that helped me to focus more on asking questions specific to the task that helped me to get to a solution on my own versus telling me the information. I think that that was really one of the most critical things that I learned during a whole lifetime of learning. And for me, I think that's kind of sad to say. There are other individuals that I admire. And I have to say, joining Toastmasters is one of the things that helped me to get there. My the original reason that I joined Toastmasters was just because a colleague invited me. And during my first part of Toastmasters in the first group, I don't know that I've had the opportunity to really put the focus in that I should. But being a member of Queen City, I think it's made tremendous differences to me and some of the growth that I've had over the years. And I have to contribute that to a lot of the members. Individuals like Gladys Rivera, who I have to just say it. She encouraged me by voluntolding me. That voluntold, meaning that I'm going to do it just because they need the help, but would I have done that otherwise? I have to say, I have to think about that. Also, other members that have made a tremendous impact on me. Another member is Kathy Shine. Kathy has provided such support, such encouragement, and her feedback that she provides is, I have to say, out of sight, because I can only wish that I can excel at my ability to provide feedback like she does. And the other person I can't continue without mentioning would be Chris Poole. Chris has a leadership style, in my opinion, that it's wonderful because she includes the leadership and the humor, which is something that I don't feel that I have, that helps me to try to strive to be less hard on myself, I should say. It's okay to be a little humorous. So if I can take a little bit from each of these individuals and learn how to develop my skills further, I think that I will definitely continue to grow. The last thing that I want to mention is that on Monday at work, I took what's called a DISC assessment. And that assessment is one that talks about communication styles and behaviors and how that would help to improve your communication skills or leadership skills. I know I have a lot of work to do, but I can get there. So maybe as a part of that training, I'll have a future story to tell to you. I appreciate your time. Thank you all. And back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Casandra.